Hello everybody and welcome back to the MLG World Final. It's Dota 2 and we're getting ready to hop into our second series today in Day 2 action. And well, I'm back with Malk. Merlini has now joined us. Welcome aboard, my friend.
Hello, nice to see you guys.
Nice to see you as well. We're getting amped up and ready for Secret versus CDEC, a run back from ESL 1. We were all there, gentlemen. Are we going to expect a repeat performance, or do you think CDEC are going to change up their 6.84D ways?
I think this is the time where CDEC needs to prove themselves and needs to prove that they can play better and differently than they have the past event at ESL.
They played some different stuff, though. They had a Slardar and an offlane Enchantress.
That being said, it was up against Cloud9.
Yes, and they almost lost.
And they just crashed and burned out of the tournament. So, Secret is definitely a team where you can prove yourself and prove that you belong amongst the top teams in the world. Granted, they took second place at TI, and they played amazingly, but you want to show consistency. You want to show that you belong in Frankfurt. And I think now's the time.
I'm also curious to see how Secret are going to look to play this one. If they do want to do a bit of the same of what we saw the last time they matched up, you got to remember that's when they pulled out the Elder Titan. We got to see Misery frequently on that Broodmother. And then in Game 2, we saw the Necro even come out. At that point in Game 2 for CDEC, they tried to change things up a bit for themselves. They still continued to go with like their Garter Bounty Hunter. They had the aggressive Quap, but then they even pulled out like an Invoker here. So they tried to build through those growing pains in that matchup, but now they've had the flexibility to work. They've been able to see Secret perform. We got to expect them to adapt in some sort of way.
The Bounty Hunters, I think, is a no-go, unless they ban out Lich. I think it's... When we saw them play versus MVP, it was just like the Bounty Hunter was really, really ineffective. Although I think CDC are slightly better at using it. We have to ban out Wisp, I'd say, as well, versus Secret.
There's a lot of things you'd have to ban out versus Secret, though. It seems like they're
well, they can take Doom.
A lot. Doom.
Right, they could use Doom, ban Wisp, and then kind of go from there.
The question is how high do they rate Broodmother, or how little do they want to play against Broodmother?
They can also play Brood.
I think the Wisp ban is definitely a go-to.
Gentlemen, we might have our answer in just a moment. Looks like we're hopping right into a fresh draft here for game number 1. We're going to have to see if we're going to see a repeat performance from ESL or if CDEC will be able to stay alive. It's worth to note that the loser of this matchup is going to be now squaring up against MVP Phoenix. The winner is going to be set a guaranteed spot into that championship playoff bracket, but they will be facing against EG. So even for that, it shouldn't be too easy of a task there.
So there is still Broodmother left in the pool. There's also still Naga Siren. Naga Siren, I think, was the ban versus all series in New York, and it hasn't been terribly popular at this tournament or even used by any team aside from Secret.
EG used it once as well.
Yeah, that was a disaster.
That was an unmitigated disaster, I'll give you that.
All right, are we going to see the Wisp ban here now? They ban out the Tusk and the Gyro from Secret. Already CDEC want to be removing that Doom, but now you...
Big smiles on...
aggressive, yeah, he's
aggressive
excited.
on CDEC. I think they've practiced something else than Gyrocopter. He's like, ah, you can ban that.
He's
all
like,
you
haha,
want.
PL.
So Wisp in the pool, Team Secret on first pick. Do they grab it? I think Secret is one of the few teams that really don't abide by pick order and what is most popular in the meta.
They don't have to take it right now. It's the thing. They can take it next pick.
Has CDC ever played Wisp? I haven't seen them to play a lot of Wisp, so yeah, you could hold off. Ember is going to be the first grab here for Secret, something Envy has been frequently a lot. Now we look to see if team want to find something to control this Ember. Night Stalker is the first thing that pops out to me, but is it a CDEC hero? Queen as well.
I generally just really like the picking up Ember Spirit and Queen of Pain really, really early on, especially when the opponent bans out the Doombringer. It's an open invitation, and the hero automatically gets a lot stronger.
Don't they also have to kind of think about what they want to do about Darkseer as well?
Darkseer could be a problem. CDC has a fair amount of success whenever they have the Darkseer. It really binds their play together, and they're really good at coming together as 5. So I wouldn't be surprised to see up a Darkseer pick up right now.
Night Stalker is going to be the first grab. Great direct counter to that Ember Spirit, great at map control. And we saw the work it did in game 1 of that Cloud9 versus MVP matchup there. Will they follow it up though? with a Darkseer for themselves to get that team fight? Or
Just
will
go
they
with
put
the Wisp.
more
Just go with the
priority-
Wisp. I don't
go
care
with
if you
the
play
Wisp?
it or not. Just go with it.
It's either that or, yeah, they can get the aggressive Queen of Pain.
Do you like the Slardar versus Ember Spirit?
I generally like Slardar against most things. I feel like amplified damage is incredibly strong, and you know, Blink and Slithering Cross is never bad. Oh, this I like a lot. A Lion pickup.
You were praising this a bit in the last series.
No, I was saying it might be a good pickup, but it gets online way too slow. But CDEC is generally not a team who minds too much about the first 10 minutes. What they really excel at is at that 15-20 minute mark where they go in and take complete control of the enemy jungle and everything. So I could see a Lion get up fairly early Blink. I really feel it's one of the best supports in the game when it does have that Blink dagger, but up until that point, it's very, very easily abusable.
At the same time, though, I think it's not that strong versus good drafts. Like LC, I would say is decent counter. Like Venomancer is like, how are you going to get a Blink initiation?
Exactly, Venomancer is really good against it.
And typically it is a Weehawk Venomancer, if I'm not mistaken, for Secret, so could
We've
see
seen
it in the
Puppy.
mid
We
lane.
should probably play it
And Puppy has
without.
played it too, yes, you're right.
with that 18-minute Aghanim Scepter he got in New York.
Thanks to the Alchemist, of course.
Pretty out of control.
Vinny is really important versus the Night Stalker, though. We've seen a lot of Night Stalkers get out of control because of the lack of vision. I think there was one time there's like Beastmaster is pretty common for vision. We saw Lycan Wolves, but Lycan is not that great in 6.85 as far as I've seen. And I think Venomancer is actually one of the best heroes to kind of soft counter Night Stalker, because you don't want to be at a vision disadvantage ever in the game, and having the Plague Wars is just really, really nice. And if you want to try and kill him, you have to silence him, as well as maybe throw out even a finger if you want to prevent the poison over from coming out.
So do you put more emphasis on getting even more map vision? One of the big hero pop-ups that thinks of having extra map vision would be like a Beastmaster, let's say. Maybe something Team Secret could consider, or could we possibly also see the Alchemist come up here from Secret, something they have ran with the Venomancer?
It's banned out, so that won't happen.
Oh, banned out. All right then. Well, that
Venomancer
answers
I think is better than Beastmaster because the Hawk is on a really long cooldown, whereas Wards you can just place it all around you. And they're forced to blow through a lot of smokes. And if you can dodge 2 smoke ganks, you've generally secured yourself like a safe 10 minutes, which is really important versus a Night Stalker. You want heroes that if they jump on, they can still do a lot of damage. Ember Spirit is a good example here that if jump can't do that much damage. Venomancer, you just need to press R before you die. And that's, you know, usually a pretty
This is not something we commonly see a lot, but a Slark ban out from Secret, I really, really like seeing that, especially because Aggressive has been known to be one of the, hence the name, most aggressive carry players and really start fighting as early on as he can with his team.
Yeah.
So a Slark ban is a very good hero to remove, and it's also a very good hero up against the Venomancer.
And with the Night Stalker, of course, with that night vision.
Yep.
So ridding that
Darkseer
synergy
ban
in
coming
place.
out as well. Probably doing what I would consider being great work in the strategic phase.
Yeah, I don't think most people would have banned out Slark, but it was really smart for CDEC. I agree.
CDC do need to fill the void of the off lane then if they're not going to have access to this Darkseer.
A lot of people
or
like
Doom.
Clog versus Venomancer and kind of isolate him. So if he does ulti, you sacrifice your Clog for Veno, which is generally viewed as pretty positive, especially if you have Blade Mail on your Clog. There's not too many other things I've seen that work that well versus Veno.
It's hard because a lot of offlaners typically need that kind of jump, and Venomancer doesn't really allow that for a lot of
You
others.
want non-blink initiators,
Yeah.
which is very few.
So historically, whenever there is no Meepo or Alchemists, Secret's go-to mid-hero is the Wind Ranger.
Yep.
So one of the next 2 picks has a high probability of being a Wind Ranger.
So does Secret need to do anything differently or just draft smart for CDEC? I mean,
we saw in New York how they could just play basically anything they wanted to. So I don't think they need to do anything differently. They need to play and execute their game plan the way they always do. Not care too much about, oh, look guys, that's surprising.
Big
It's a Wind Ranger.
out of left field. I mean, who's to fault them on that one?
Oh yeah, I
We has been
can't
played.
blame him considering how he...
he's really ridiculous with the shackles.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Shackle is bugged whenever he plays it. I'm seeing some of those ranges on the shackle and the angles and how it always latches on the target you wish for. It's pretty ridiculous, actually. It's definitely not as strong as when I see other players play it.
What do you think it would match up with Light of Heaven? Light of Heaven, Weehaw? Should we be starting to call it the Weehaw Wind Ranger?
Oh yeah, I'd go for that.
Yeah?
I completely forgotten that Light of Heaven even played that hero.
Rip Navi. Anyways, moving on. Fourth pickup here. CDEC still need to be able to pick up that off-lane grab here. And then eventually something for Shiki in the mid lane. What would you think about a TA in this game? It is a Shiki favorite. They are on Dire side.
No, not versus Veno and Ember.
Too tricky there. Oh yeah, against the Venomancer. That you're right on that.
No business in this game.
Just spitballing here, seeing what can stick to the wall here. Another go-to for Shiki that's still in the pool. Shadow Fiend. It is Dire side, however, but
I prefer his Lina the most.
Okay.
I think. I still think it would fit pretty well in here as
They
well.
won't have any right click later though.
They will end up on a lot of magic damage. You can build Lina into right click if you really want to. And the same way with Queen of Pain, we've seen it been played as a like with that third item Assault Cuirass pickup.
It's all any though. They can just go AA and kind of turtle out until 30 plus.
Oh, Queen of Pain mid.
the Juggernaut. So yeah, they might switch it up. Usually we see aggressive on the Queen of Pain, but it looks like Shiki will take it over and then we'll lead aggressive on the Jug instead.
So Juggernaut is obviously really good against Venomancer if you get to keep the healing ward alive. It completely mitigates all the damage you get from the Poison Nova.
Is it time for AA?
It could be.
Helps with the healing ward, and obviously the combo with Venomancer is pretty nasty.
There is still Wisp in the pool. There is still a Bane Elemental, two heroes that Poppy has been favoring over the Ancient Aberration.
He also did pull out that Enchantress at one time. There's no Bounty Hunter from CDEC. Is it possible for Puppy to consider being a bit more greedy with that support?
Queen of Pain and Juggernaut are too hard to gank.
Played 2 games of Lich yesterday. I don't think that's particularly strong up against this matchup. Juggernaut and Queen of Pain both being pretty good against, especially the ultimate.
Maybe like what about a Bane then?
I think Bane is decent, but you're gonna have a hard time keeping things in its place anyways.
Dazzle.
It's a Puppy classic.
Okay versus single target from NS Lion and
They
Jug.
could still go for a Venomancer offlane on Misery.
This is true.
I speak for the trees.
Nope, that is not. So
Have we seen Misery play Nature's Prophet? In recent history, I certainly have not. But then again, going into ESL, I hadn't seen him play Broodmother,
This is a lot different
even
from
much
what
of
we
offlane, all that.
This is a lot different from what we expected.
Then again, Misery has been playing a lot of heroes that we just don't expect, and I feel like Nature's
Mirana.
Prophet. What?
Mirana?
Mirana, yeah. I feel like Nature's Prophet is one of those heroes most players on our level, or their level rather. Let's not include ourselves. On their level, can go in and play Nature's Prophet, so it's not really a big deal, I think.
Why Nature's Prophet though, as opposed to other offlaners? I could see some use out of Treants, tanking Omni Slash. Or
I think Monkey Business has been proving that the Nature's Prophet adds a lot of versatility in the early game, opens up for ganks around the map, pushes down towers really quick.
And definitely a lot of emphasis on the pushing down towers with the rest of the lineup. Focus Fire, Venomancer wards. Could be pretty objective heavy.
For the late game. The Orchid up against the Queen of Pain, and then of course the Aghanim Scepter.
Isn't it hard for him to find farm around the map though with the Night Stalker in the game?
No.
No?
Not at all. Just no.
All right, so it was said. Bye now.
I feel
No.
like the... I mean, if the Night Stalker gets farm up, it will be with the Aghanim Scepter, obviously, but that's very later on in the game. In the early game, I'm not too concerned about it. Night Stalker is obviously good against it because he can silence up the Nature's Prophet, so he can't use his built-in TP. And if he then starts an actual scroll of teleportation, Night Stalker can then use the Void to cancel it.
So do you think this is more like a just a split push and avoid fights until later when you're stronger? With Nature's Prophet, Wind Ranger, and Ember Spirit both kind of being able to split push and hit on towers, say with Venomancer?
Yeah,
Or
because
is it
right now
more
they
like
already have like what I regard as a pretty superior late game. All 4 heroes scales really well into the late game. The Ember Spirit, Venomancer is one of the better 5-on-5 support heroes in the late game when he gets that Aghanim Scepter up and running, especially if he then gets an Oxmarine Core as well. Wind Ranger, especially when played by Wii, deals out a ton of damage. And then Nature's Prophet just have natural item progression that you almost can't keep down. You know, he can go 0-20, not that I would know anything about that, and then stack up a ton of items anyways.
Phoenix is going to be the last grab here from CDEC. We're putting this as their offlane grab. Here we have not seen yet. Probably the first pickup, I believe, for MLG. Unless it was played, of course, on the secondary stream. We didn't happen to catch it. But Secret with a second support here could go with like a Skyrath, a Rubik, and any hero to help shut him down. Do you think this Phoenix can end up being a bit vulnerable with this late grab and Team Secret having one more pick to go?
The extra heal is certainly useful versus Venomancer as well as the other life, but it's the Spirit is not useful at all versus Ember and Wind Ranger.
And they decide to go with the Disruptor. Helps with the Phoenix, jump away, get a quick glimpse, pull back.
So from my personal perspective, I actually favor CDC's lineup, but I've been quick to say that, especially in the last series, and Secret is known to just make things work. And with how fast-paced early game really works out right now, not waiting for ultimates and everything will benefit them a lot. So I'm just gonna go against my own beliefs and say Secret will take this based on the draft.
On the back of a certain Hickey Gaia.
Hickey Gaia.
Would you agree with that, Ben?
I think the Disruptor adds a lot of value to their lineup, and I think that they can kind of match CDEC's aggression with the mobility from the Ember Spirit as well as the Nature's Prophet. So I think it's a decent draft. It's a little risky though because you can get run over with Disruptor being a relatively weak support and Nature's Prophet sometimes getting shut down early. So I think it heavily depends on Misery's play.
All right.
But I favor Secret.
You favor who?
Secret. We're in this together, Jacob.
Great.
All right. I'll be the odd man out and say maybe CDEC would be able to pull it off then.
I feel CDC's lineup is particularly good against the Nature's Prophet though. Queen of Pain and Phoenix both have a fairly easy time going up against him. Juggernaut isn't too bothered by him. Nightstalker's pretty good against him.
Well, the proof may be in the pudding, and we'll see if it's going to happen as that. Game one, though, going to be underway here. Secret versus CDEC. Let's go ahead and throw it over to our casters. It's going to be Toby 1 and Blitz. Gentlemen, take it away.
Thank you very much. Yes, we have now, well, I get to take the place of Capitalist. I don't know if I can do the full job of him, but I know Blitz is our rock that we turn to for co-casters.
That's really sad. All right, so the
I
analysts...
was trying to come up with a happier intro, but I didn't really have one. So,
the analysts stuck
hi
together,
Blitz.
right?
Hi Blitz.
They said they were going to go with Secret.
Yeah.
They were so wrong before, but I agree with them. So I don't know if I should validate it or just kind of skip along.
Well, you could always back Dakota, because Dakota was the only one that said, you know what, CDEC's got this.
Okay, I really like Secret's lineup. I think almost all of them have the heroes that they want to play.
Yeah.
You've got Weehaw playing his Wind Ranger. He has been such a monster on this hero.
It's comfort heroes through and through.
Yeah.
Like,
really like
Puppy's
that.
been playing Venomancer since the dawn of time. He doesn't have the Rush Tag in him, except because the Alchemist was banned out this time around. But Misery, the off-flame Prophet, is actually not an off hero for him to play. I believe he actually used to play this a hell of a lot back in the past.
He did, and something I really like about the Nature's Prophet, I just like that it's coming back into the meta and Vogue.
Yes.
I don't really care that the build is just the most obnoxious thing of all time. The hero's just fun to watch.
But Prophet was always the most obnoxious of all time. He's the main reason why there's courier protection inside the base. This guy can go anywhere, anytime, and turn all dual lanes into tri-lanes into quad lanes, and quad lanes into 5-man pushes. That's just the beauty of the hero. You've always got support. And up against a team like CDEC, you're going to need that, because these guys love to just push you very early on and get aggressive. Like, they're running a Night Stalker, they have to get aggressive.
They run that very European style of just playing flat-out aggression really early on, and they set the tempo early. There are some of the innovators of that safe lane ganking and getting aggressive there as soon as you possibly can. They don't really pick that ultra late game carry ever. It's usually aggressive is going to be playing something that in the mid game can scale really quickly and just fight with his team nonstop. But they're just going to gank up the trees right now, make sure at top that he doesn't build the train army.
I really want to keep my eyes very close on this mid lane. Like, Weeha's dropped down low. He's already had to burn off this salve because Shiki's just trying to harass him out with a Shadow Strike. Just time and time again. The second Weeha comes in close, he hits him up, and then Weeha tries to line up this power shot. It's only a level 1 at the moment, so Shiki's feeling a little bit more confident in this mid lane, but this is probably, for me, where I think First Blood's going to end up.
All right. I kind of disagree. I feel
You think it's going to be bottom?
I just think that there's a lot of defensive potential for both heroes, and I don't think that I mean, Shiki's a second place TI finisher. Weao's got a lot of experience in the mid lane.
Or bottom lane. There's Night Stalker. The Searing Chain's by a little bit more time for the wall to come up, and Night Stalker cannot run away in time. So I get to be wrong. It'll be Pylai die.
I think they're going to get
He'll actually
Q2.
drop, and yeah, he's already used his Icarus dive. So Phoenix, he's dead. Sorry, he actually leveled up Fire Spirits on Icarus dive. So that's an easy 2 kills for the safe lane of Secret.
This is not an incredibly strong offlane by CDEC. You've got a Phoenix that can kind of contest, but the level 1 Fire Spirits, Purge tells me every single time, this spell at level 1 is terrible.
Why would he level it up in this case? Like, is he trying to combo with the Night Stalker at all?
I think he just assumed that they would be able to get the 2 relatively safely, and it allows you to have some harass potential, but up at top, CDEC, they're trying to get aggressive on this Nature's Prophet, but Misery's positioning is really good, unable to get anything off, and the laning phase so far working out really well for Secret.
It's kind of impossible to catch Misery out. Like, if you're marking up your trees, just leave one on the side. Don't even need an Observer Ward for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So Garda can't come in close, and if he does come in close, he's still a stun and a Hex. Aggressive. He's now got the 2nd level up in the Blade Fury, so that's going to work nicely for him, because that damage output very early on is going to be fantastic against Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, they need it for them to actually be able to kill the Nature's Prophet. The right clicks alone shouldn't do it. Nature's Prophet, he's got a lot of HP and armor. 7 armor already. 644 health. It's not easy to cut through that, Toby.
Yeah. I'm actually wondering if he can do it in time. Because if Nature's Prophet just starts his TP, is the Blade Fury going to be enough? Like, do you need almost like a level 4 Blade Fury to ensure the kill?
No, I don't think it has to go that far. It's more that the Lion has used up a lot of his mana in trying to harass him, and his natural mana regen is only 1 a second, which is kind of low, which is why he's compensated with this mana drain, and so he just needs to be able to level it, get a little bit more. And Aggressive actually is actively using the Blade Fury just to be able to make sure that the creep equilibrium is okay for them.
Yeah. He's done a pretty damn good job of that. 21 for 12 on the CS. And that's kind of the downside right now about Misery. Like, yes, he's leeching out a little bit of experience, but he's still currently sitting at very low CS.
All right, so this mid lane.
Just Pylai dive playing the invis block on this Night Stalker, making life very, very difficult for him. They just can't even like safely move for the lane. And what's Phoenix meant to do? He's not like a Darkseer that can just tab out and go into the jungle.
Yeah, this is where you'll typically see your mid laner start to have to make impact around the map. The problem is that the mid laner can't really go for the jungle. It's a little bit too inefficient. So what you're going to see is just moves around the map, try to get aggressive wherever you can, and create kills for yourself. Because you're completely right. Q playing this Phoenix, this isn't a jungle hero. Don't bother Fire Spiriting.
Shiki's in a lot of trouble, but then again, he kind of wants to be. Weeha's committed a little bit too far for this one. The Sonic Wave will turn around, buying him the kill. The wall up from Pylai just in time. But this is meant to be a smoke movement from CDEC. They actually smoked up both the Night Stalker as well as the Phoenix, looking for that opening.
I don't even think they needed those heroes.
They didn't. They never actually arrived in time. Sonic Wave got the kill before Night Stalker did anything.
They did use the Void, so I'd imagine that was some damage, but still.
Top lane, Misery now in trouble. Night Stalker rotating in, and this is making the most out of the nighttime for the NS. Exactly what he wants to have happen. Misery's trying to juke him left and right, but it's not going to be possible. Got it with a safe TP out, and that is 2 quick answer kills back for CDEC, and they're looking for more. They're coming for Weeha. Shiki's only got like a 2-1-2 build, so he doesn't have a lot to play up against Weeha.
Doesn't have a lot of HP either.
No.
Although, as I say that, he does get the Belt of Giant Strength delivered, and Weeha is actually really far pushed forward.
There's that Shadow Strike hitting again with the Void. He wants to try and finish with the Power Shot, gonna miss it. And now Weeha is in way too far the wall, trying to keep the Night Stalker away, but he cannot do it. Night Stalker reaching over the wall. Shiki actually very aggressively blinking forward. But there's no glimpse from the Disruptor to punish it, and even then, there's no one else behind the Disruptor to help punish it.
And now things have really evened out, especially with those 2 kills onto the mid laner. A lot of the pressure is now alleviated from Shiki. He doesn't have to worry about going for the ganks anymore. His lane has pretty much been won. And this Wind Ranger has been shut out. Just 23 CS to her name. Not that impressive. And more importantly, dying twice.
Ember. Okay. Commits underneath the tower to try and chase after the Phoenix, who was fairly low.
You've got to do it. He doesn't have Tranquil Boots. You want to try to get aggressive just to force him out of the lane and make sure that if there is a gank coming, that you have to use heroes that aren't the Phoenix. And that means you'd probably have to bring both the Queen of Pain and the Night Stalker to be able to gank up the Ember Spirit.
Looks like top lane now. Treants are able to drag back most of the creep wave. And Aggressive didn't have a single point up in a healing ward. In fact, he just went for this 3-0-0-1 build. Night Stalker also, we are hitting him on that power shot. XZ is going to be forced back to pop the salve. I kind of want to say, though, that this Night Stalker, I was very apprehensive. We've seen a lot of Night Stalkers fail in this support role, but XZ being able to get some really good rotations, he's been involved in all 3 of the kills of CDEC, taking one of them himself, is almost up at level 6 already at the end of the first nighttime phase.
I mean, the vision that this hero gives you is insane. I think, I don't remember who I was talking to, but he said there are a lot of heroes that give you extra vision, like the Slark or the Luna at night, but what hero actually takes away vision like Night Stalker does? You don't need to be a core to simply do that. And once you do get some farm as a support, you're essentially playing with max ward vision everywhere he runs.
It's actually good to look at it from that angle. It's not what you have, it's what you've taken away.
Yeah. The fact that they can't really use their wards as effectively, the team fights become an absolute mess.
Yeah.
Like, you have no idea where anybody's placed, and that's something that most teams, that's the #1 thing you rely on, is knowing where everybody is on the map, being able to kind of work around in team fights and call out signs. But you can't really do that when you're playing against a Night Stalker. And this is the classic CDEC move, where they're going to gank into this jungle. Unfortunately, they're not going to run into the Ember Spirit first, but Puppey's a good consolation prize.
Yeah, they're fine with this. If they want to, they can even just rotate themselves down, but Eternal Envy's hiding in the tree line. Just to go actually touch on something else, because I know I was having a chat to one of the managers, which will remain unnamed, but he was talking about the fact that you can actually run like the full vision game, where if you can get the perfect draft with a Night Stalker and a Luna inside your pick, not only do you take it away from them, but you get everything back. And it makes almost smoke ganking impossible just because of the vision distance. You end up breaking smoke before the enemy sees you.
But then you realize you're playing Luna 20 seconds later and you die to everything, right?
Oh, come on. The Luna with the strength increase? She's going to be the new thing with the Nature's Prophet, man. It's the full push lineup.
It was like Moon Meander said yesterday. Like, Nature's Prophet isn't in Han. He's just like, I can't believe this hero. He can TP anywhere? Like, that's unbelievable.
It used to be restricted. It used to be. You could only TP what you had vision.
All right, so
that was the
Eternal
nerf
Envy,
on him.
He remnants in. Shiki's looking for most likely Puppey, and he's probably going to find him. He doesn't have a TP for this, so he might want to bottle up first.
There's a Radiant Sentry ward, though. He'll walk in range of this, and now Puppey, okay, it may not matter anyway. Let's the Sonic Wave rip, and Puppey with a Blink Scream. Stick Charges will not be able to save him.
He doesn't have the TP, though. And his Blink's on cooldown. Yeah, that was...
Misery is coming. The bottle charges are kicking in, however. Pylai die. Still with that Glimpse of Elbow. Shiki, yeah, he's dead. That gank's not worth it, but he still spent his money before death. But gives a lot over to Nature's Prophet.
That's what I was talking about, though, is he wasn't going to be able to execute that kill on the Venomancer without the Blink used. And if he had a TP there, I would have said that's a really reasonable play for him to make. Good kill, but you don't really want to look to trade in that position because the Queen of Pain is tempo controlling for you right now. You want to keep her on the map as long as you possibly can. She does slow down Puppey even further, but still, giving a killing spree to the off-lane Nature's Prophet who is struggling is quite the boon for Misery, as he's got 1,500 gold already to his name.
That definitely helps him out. Maybe able to get in. We will probably look for the Orchid build, right, on Misery? Or is this when he tries to play catch-up? He's got a lot of money banked. That's the only reason why I'm putting a question mark if he's thinking about Midas catch-up.
I would like the Midas. I think that it fits the pace of this game right now. His team isn't being incredibly pressured. He hasn't been too necessary to the strategy yet. And when you look at CDEC's lineup, when it comes to nighttime and you've got a Phoenix that's level 6, it's going to be quite difficult to fight anyways. So you might as well go for the split push game where before the Queen of Pain gets that Orchid, there's not a ton of catch that's really going to mess you up. And you're going to play the positioning game anyways. Misery's smart enough to know where people are.
The rune of regeneration.
So just play it safe?
Exactly. And this Venomancer is now being sent to the off lane just to try to get whatever he can.
Well, he can also hold it a lot safer. Throw out the Plague Wards and have to make Force Juggernaut to deal with that. But Aggressive's trying to get as much farm from the jungle as possible. He's very close to finishing that Battle Fury. Only needs the Broadsword now. And how are we looking for the Ember Spirit? Like, he did go for the early Ring of Aquila to go with that poor man's shield. But with an extra 1,800 goldish in the bank, like, the Battle Fury is not too far off for him as well. Not with the farm rate of the Ember.
Ring of Aquila is just such an efficient item to get as an agi carry. It does so much for you, especially with the way that things have been changed when it comes to calculating damage. But at bottom. This is the CDEC move. They're
They-
going to invade the jungle. And
they
it's
can
about
see
to
him.
hit nighttime, and Misery would be a huge pickup. It is a level 7 hero. He's got 1900 gold built up. Slowing him down here would be so huge for them.
That helps. Ember Spirit actually jumps himself over, so Eternal Envy want to be part of this. Luckily for him, he wasn't in range of Garda, who did still have the Hex available. But they really wanted that quick kill on the Nature's Prophet and get straight back out again. At the same time, look at aggressive. He walks straight past the tier 1 tower, runs down, checks out the stacks, sees there's nothing there. And now we'll move back over to the tier 1.
Yeah, CDEC for the longest time, Toby, they've just been known as that aggressive Chinese team that is willing to invade your jungle as 5 constantly. They're willing to bring over their safe lane carries just to be able to do so. And they want
They found Weeha.
this game.
Ulti gonna go off. Weeha dying almost instantly with the spin to ensure the kill. Shiki was coming in from the side, but was not really required. And they'll instantly TP themselves up to the top, and that's what I know we were talking about this before we started. Okay, maybe
know he doesn't have
aggressive.
spin.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. Has to get to the tree line, the healing ward, the plague ward kills it off, and aggressive just turns for a moment because there's more support on the way in. Misery just sprouts himself up so they don't have any vision of him, but that just means the puppy will end up dying. With a Shadow Strike on him, he can't run away in time, and in fact, Shiki just wants to ensure the kill. He's getting blocked up by a tree and he's getting a little bit frustrated, so he decides just to Sonic Wave down Puppy.
Almost felt like a little bit of a overreaction there. He's just getting annoyed. He's saying to himself, let's just get the kill. I don't really care if you've got Void up. I just want to ensure that I get out. And Puppy's been a thorn in his side. If you remember correctly, at bottom, when he died trying to kill him, that seems to be the operation in this game. Kill the Venomancer.
Garda, Weeha still chasing after him. Does he have... Yeah, he's got a level 4 power shot. And off target. Garda gets back to that tier 2 tower. This is what I was talking about, though, before we were actually inside the draft. I'm like, okay, who's really going to win this one? I'm like, okay, if CDEC focus down Weeha, they should be able to really make a crack inside the secret defense line. And they've done a pretty damn good job. This Wind Ranger is not gaining momentum at all. That early Aghanim that we see a lot from Weeha is just not arriving.
Yeah, this is definitely going to throw off his timing. And credit where credit is due. I will back up Toby. He did actually say that he felt that they were going to apply a lot of pressure to Weeha, and they have done this game, but Eternal
Just for all
Envy's
those
had a pretty
disbelievers.
decent game.
Oh, mid. Real trouble for the Ember Spirit. They're going to go into the Nova as well, but there is the defensive Spirit to jump out to. So the mid push doesn't succeed here for CDEC as far as they can get to push, but they can still add a little bit more pressure into the tier 1 tower with the healing ward down and the catapult in the lane. Puppy does have the Nova he can reach. Shiki with just the Gale. But catching anybody out here is very, very difficult because you've still got Icarus dives away, you've still got stuns, you're careful about going into Finger of Death. You're not worried about Sonic Wave, but you might be worried about Misery. The silence in the bottom lane, Xe running around the tree lines. Now he can go for that Void. The Lion's still on his way in, goes for the Finger of Misery. He'll one charge back up again. The Finger of Death from Garda does not find the kill. And now they've rotated all the way down, which exposes the mid tower.
This is going to be a tower for sure, as I think Misery, he's got a TP available if he wants it. He actually went up to this top lane to kind of mess around for a little bit, but the most important thing for me right now, Toby, is that Secret aren't really losing towers. So even if CDEC are getting aggressive around the map, you're getting hero kills, you're not getting objectives right now. And that's something that they really heavily rely on because they want to be able to invade the jungle early and often to kind of just keep you off your toes.
The wall is up, the Night Stalker locked in with the Searing Chain. Sonic Wave is available for Shiki, but he really needed Xe to be able to get that Void off of one of the
actually
heroes.
got the last hit on the tower with the wards.
Gotta get out of here. Slider Fist should be able to do the work, but he'll decide to Spirit Jump it over. Slider Fist was on cooldown. So the Shackle again from Weeha. I say again, as we just remember what happened yesterday. Is able to find that initiation, but Eternal Envy's got no mana. He needs extra help, but they go for the silence instead over on Weeha to keep him out of this fight, but he already got the Shackle of the Night Stalker with the Wrath of Nature kicking in, that poison really hurting the Phoenixes, both the Nova and the Poison Sting, and then the wall is there. They lock down Shiki. Phoenix will pop as well as Puppy just chased him down. That poison a real pain for him, and CDEC losing quick heroes in successions, even if Aggressive does take the mid tower.
Oh, Shiki should have been able to get one of those kills, I feel. He wanted to line up the ultimate perfectly, but at the same time, the Disruptor drops that ultimate on him. Really well played, and this is what I was talking about, Toby, is CDEC, yeah, you're getting some kills around the map, but you really want to start taking map control if you can, and they just aren't, but this is quite big for them as Aggressive actually steals a lot of that stack.
And unfortunately, he's out of life. finds himself a DD room, but can't finish up the big ones, and they're so low.
Oh, that would be huge for Eternal Envy or Weehaw if they just kind of spot up there.
Weeha's moving up here now.
Some of them are just one-shottable.
Yep. This actually makes it easy for him to do this. Yep, realizes that the Observer Ward was watching from Secret the entire time. That's why Weeha's quite happy just to commit himself to this.
This Juggernaut, though, is quite farmed. He's got a Yasha and a Battle Fury. His timings are okay, but it's not a hero that's particularly mobile, so you want to try to get aggressive as quick as you can. And as soon as I say that again, CDEC, they're going to smoke up.
Envy running up to, okay, that's the reason why. He's got himself a Spirit, but yeah, bottom lane is where the Night Stalker is, and where the Night Stalker will be able to survive. He's got enough one-charges, he'll survive through the Thunderstrike, but he won't survive through both the Wrath of Nature as well. Pylite IT being out, you have to commit the Sonic Wave to ensure that kill. While the rest of CDEC, they smoke move right in front of Misery. The Icarus dive will come, but then they'll realize where Misery is. Actually, they knew where Misery was. The Observer Ward was seeing him.
They're just being out-positioned right now. Is during this time, the Ember Spirit is farming as well. For Secret, this is huge. You get 3 heroes to force a commitment. Yeah, you lose your Disruptor, but you also kill the Night Stalker at the same time. And meanwhile, the Ember Spirit just continues to farm. And this is great for them because he doesn't have the Battle Fury, and yet he's keeping up with the Juggernaut and farm. And the Juggernaut just naturally needs more net worth to really take advantage of these team fights.
Yep. But now he's going to find a little bit of that. With the quad Ancient stack for him, he's already up to level 12. He can let the Phoenix leech a little bit this out too, but they're coming over. That's a BT onto the tree and aggressive. Caught out, he has to spin himself away to safety. There was just no other choice. They keep the vision up. There's no Wrath of Nature. So this tree and vision won't be able to help them pick off the Juggernaut. But they're definitely making it difficult for CDEC just to take out their Ancient stack.
We've got a Hand of Midas almost coming on XC2, playing the Night Stalker. And that's going to be a really significant pickup because that means his Aghanim should come maybe 10, 12 minutes after that, especially if they take some favorable engagements. But this Juggernaut is the point of concern for me. You want to try to get aggressive with him as much as you possibly can, even going for things like Roshan, but Secret is just kind of applying pressure on too many sides of the map. So if you do try to go for objectives, they'll just split push you.
They're pinging down the bottom lane, realizing Weehaw and Pylite die. Yeah, there's that focus fire, forcing out the fortification from CDEC. And Fierce will come down to try and slow down this Wind Ranger, jumping forward, going directly into the Nova. Maybe even hoping that Weehaw and Pylite die would stick around to attack it. Buying time for aggressive to arrive, but yeah, it's a little...
The tower at bottom was kind of in danger, but it still has enough HP. It has 400 health.
It really felt like a bait. Like, that's all it could have been. Like, it's like, please stick around and attack, so
they
then
saw
the rest
everybody
of CDEC can
TPing in
arrive.
too. That was
Yeah.
that was a little bit of an overcommitment, I think, by Q. I would kind of agree with you if they weren't TPing in the front as well.
Yep.
When everybody kind of shows
Well,
themselves like
hello
that,
bottom
the
lane. Goodbye Disruptor, goodbye Venomancer. The Omnislash doing the work, and of course Lion's Finger of Death. The way to start that fight. We are forced to get back behind the tower, and now we go basic CDEC style. Like, all you gotta do, take the kills, push the towers. But the downside is, Misery as well as Ember Spirit, they're taking your top tier 2 tower while this went on. You're losing map control up against Nature's Prophet, a very dangerous thing to do.
over and over again. You're getting trades off, and like you said, the Ember Spirit still keeping up in farm as well. The Nature's Prophet is doing okay for himself, 2,300 gold to his name, but for me personally, it just determines this game is going to come down to how much CDEC can take out of the next 10-15 minutes. Going for the Roshan, going for even more aggressive plays, but now that this top tower has been opened up, you're completely right. The split push gets even stronger. The Nature's Prophet, there's not a whole lot that can deal with him if he goes the right item build.
And Envy's up a long way. That Orchid's already going to go to work. They got follow-up stuns as well, trying to burn through that Flame Guard, and they're able to do it. Eternal Envy being picked off in the mid. Thought the Defensive Spirit would be enough for him, but obviously not.
That's a big pickup too. He was one of the heroes that they haven't had a free reign on. Being able to kill him slows down his timings quite a bit. They want to go for even more.
Yeah. Having guarded with that Blink Dagger though, like CDEC, they've got a ticket to go for more. Like, your supports have the instant initiation to get that Hex off. Misery's got to be even more defensive. You talked about playing that positioning game for Team Secret. If Misery's positioning it's imperfect, he's going to start feeding himself out. And then that split push is completely gone.
Yeah.
Because what Secret really got once he's down, like you do have the Ember Spirit, but as we also saw, the Ember Spirit can get picked off in just the same fashion.
The crucial thing there is that when you have a support that is a Blink Dagger like this, as long as he uses his entire toolkit, he gets his finger off, he gets a stun and a hex, you're okay with him dying. Whereas if you have to lead with the Queen of Pain, often what will happen is you trade her out because she has to be your initiating factor, and then you just lose your highest net worth hero. You want to try to keep her alive, let her use her blink a little bit more.
Oh, nice shackle. Weeha hitting Shiki perfectly. Has he got enough damage to the Wrath of Nature? Yes, he does. The Focus Fire Aghanim's upgrade comes in at the perfect time and allows him to get the pick off on the Queen of Pain. And now into a Blink Dagger Wind Ranger.
XZ though, he's found Pylai Die.
Yeah, Paladai is going to make it difficult for him with the wall as well as the ulti being used, but you got Night Stalker Illusions, which keep the vision on Paladai. He will get the silence off, but not the Void. Garda's too far away. Finger of Death's coming off cooldown, so Puppey lets the ulti loose. Secret, are they going to try and fight this one? Considering, okay, yeah, Phoenix has to go into the Nova. He was dying too quickly. They also have to move that healing ward away from the treants and away from the Plague Wards.
Eternal Envy snipes one.
Yeah, that simple sleight of fist. Wind Range is going to find another over on the Phoenix. And now into that ulti. Eternal Envy completely isolated, which means that full Omni Slash just goes into the Ember Spirit. Misery gets a double sprout. They're TPing out in time. Will they? No. The glimpses, the shackles, and the spin from Aggressive. He's just not fast enough. He's Novid and Poison synced up. So Puppey, well, he helps Weeha go for the solo kill. Exceeds on the run away from Puppey as well as from Misery. Who's going to find the kill first? Aggressive. Okay, Weeha going to get orchided and Shadow Strike, Sonic Wave. He'll find the kill. Is there enough from Queen of Pain? Yes, there is. He'll end up popping for his prize.
Still, 4 kills going the way of Team Secret is Eternal Envy. Maybe got a little bit too over-aggressive there at the end, but leading the charge for his team is Misery just continues to get more farm. He's almost got the Aghanim Scepter now too. And that Venomancer ult does so much. They focus so much on Puppey in the early game, Toby, but look at his items already.
Yeah. This is the true 4 position where the Venomancer going directly in for the Aghanim Scepter. And with a level 2 ultimate Aghanim Scepter, like, you just tick out so fast. Like, if you don't get the initial pick and fall out, you're just going to lose everyone.
Yeah, you saw the Phoenix have to just blow his egg to make sure that he wasn't going to get sniped by the power shot. That's definitely not how you want to use the egg this game. And it feels to me like the egg is being used a little bit too inefficiently, or maybe they're just a little bit trigger happy with it. You have to make it a point to try and force Secret to fight around it, but CDEC unable to do so.
Is this the time when you look towards something like Garda's been having a bit of success himself finding money? Do you look to him to try and build into the pipe? Do you look for the Phoenix to build into the pipe? Just to try and deal with the Venomancer?
I think maybe the Phoenix
middle lane,
but
that's troublesome. That positioning was perfect from Weeha, but this time Phoenix Nova, a better position for him. Weeha's going to drop. Shiki will survive through this. Care of the Courier is just delivering Sentry Wars to Pylai Die, but XZ's right behind him, looking for the Void. He can't do it. The wall comes up in time, and now it's Eternal Envy moving to the front lines, making CDEC just look behind themselves before he retreats.
An excellent shackle by Weeha, but the entire team is prepared for that one. Is CDEC, they want to move as a group. They want to be able to take down tier 2s.
But it's so difficult. Look at the bottom lane. There's so many Treants down here. You got a full Aghanim Scepter on the Nature's Prophet. He summoned like 4 or 5 Treants from the creep wave and then summoned even more just by his call.
You have to start getting aggressive on the map though for CDEC. Take advantage of the heroes that you have. Play the tempo game. You don't have the egg here, but Team Secret aren't in position, Toby, to defend this really. The Ember Spirit does have the Battle Fury up, but you've got that healing ward, and that's pivotal to your push, but they're just going to back up. Everybody's about to respawn. It's so scary fighting against the Venomancer, and you can't just let that bottom tower fall either.
Yeah. And Aggressive will come to mop it up. Looks like top lane, the TP's out. Garda, well, he'll go for the stun, but the glimpse, it stops XZ as well. So Garda will get sleight of fisted down by the Ember Spirit. The wall doesn't control XZ, but the Sprout will. He's got no way out of this one. No TP's available. He just buys his own club and throws out whatever abilities he can, but this will be the 2 supports for CDEC getting picked off. I'm really still surprised. Like, I know like Secret's team fight around Roshan's pretty damn good, but I thought CDEC might try and slip themselves in with that healing ward with the Juggernaut just to try and take out Roshan a little bit earlier on. Give them an advantage during these fights. Okay, Weeha. Is he really going for this? With a jump in from the Phoenix.
There's no way.
Now they're pushing him back. The Glimmer Cape arrives at the perfect time, but no, the ulti from the Disruptor as well as Puppey, coating almost all of CDEC. Aggressive can't get the ulti off. Shiki will get a good Sonic Wave, but how much damage more can he do? He'll pick up Puppey. but that's all. Weeha's running after him. Stay away from the tree so you do not get shackled. He's going to get actually Searing chained up anyway. Team Secret, the perfect fight, initiated up by Weeha, but it really came down to Pylai Die. That was a huge ulti from him.
That was absolutely sick. Being able to trap the Juggernaut, and this is the problem with the hero, is that if you can't get that Omni Slash off, or the spin before that point, the hero just becomes useless, and Pylai Die made him look foolish there as he catches 2, lines it up for Secret to take down that tier 2 tower at top, or in mid, and this is just going to open up Misery to continue the split push, farm out even more, and he's just so farmed right now.
Weeha's actually starting Roshan. Not the greatest way to start it by getting bashed by him. But Misery is going to give him some help right now, make a couple of trees inside the pit.
Is it really Secret that's going to do this first?
It really shouldn't be, but you've got the Queen of Pain and the Juggernaut on the sidelines. Who's really going to stop them?
You've got to rotate forward. You can't give this up for free. This is one of CDEC's better moments.
They're coming.
But you don't have the heroes for
The
it.
Phoenix is here. He starts the Sunray. But Roshan's already practically dead. They'll go into the Nova. That just means you got a Nova inside the pit. Weeha, where is the control? The stun will be there. The double one from Garda with a finger of death. They bring down Eternal Envy. Misery is burning as well. He wants to TP himself out of here. Weeha still locked inside the pit. Now into the Omni Slash. Weeha will drop. Misery lucky to escape out of that one with his life, but CDEC, they actually, well, they don't get Roshan. It still goes in.
They got the last hit on it, though.
Yeah, they killed it, but Winry just
snatched
snatched it.
What timing by Q going in there like that. He knew they were going to focus on the Roshan instead of him. Gets his full egg duration off. Both supports and the Phoenix are able to make that happen. The Juggernaut doesn't even come in till the very end to mop up Weeha. I mean, I didn't think they were going to be able to do it either, but just superior positioning and taking advantage of the fact that Secret, they just wanted that Roche kill.
Yeah, and all of Secret were inside too. Like, they lined themselves up. The fact that Garda got into that cliffside and were able to like pick up a double stun himself, all 4 players instantly affected by the Nova.
That was just coordination at its key.
That's kind of what I was hoping for from CDEC today as well. Like, we just see him go for this real aggression kind of style, just jump and fight, and let their skills show.
Yeah, it's just trust in your teammates. Is that Q goes in, he knows that the line's going to back him up and actually line that stun. There aren't a lot of teams that would execute that better as CDEC 3v5. They even burned the Aegis. So now things become pretty dangerous for Team Secret.
Yeah, because Aggressive will soon have this BKB. And there's no Aghanim Scepter coming on the Disruptor, so that ulti of Disruptor will not be able to control the Juggernaut anymore once he's finished this. We got a Gem of True Sight being purchased up by Phoenix. So then they try and play the Vision game. Garda's got a Glimmer Cape of his own, so there's 2 Glimmer Capes. And the full BKB is done for Queen of Pain, plus the 2,000 gold extra. So we'll look for her next item, and that's probably the biggest one of all. XC, with all that money, a lot of it was from support. He's still a 1/4/8 Night Stalker, but he's now got the Aghanim Scepter. We've now got the unobstructed vision during nighttime.
This Ember Spirit almost has his data list, though. And once he grabs that, he's going to get quite strong. It's going to make these team fights a lot easier for Team Secret, but what a back-and-forth game we've had so far.
It really has been. If you check out the gold graph, like, it was so even for the very early stages of the game, and then it goes up and down. That big spike up from Secret instantly turned around the experience, the same kind of thing. There's really no clear victor in this game at the moment because each team, they've still got so many different mechanics they can work with. Like, you can look for your split push. You're running an Ember Spirit with BTs, a Prophet who can go anywhere on the map. And with the Aghanim Scepter can create units all across the map. You got CDEC with a real aggressive team fight push that they can do, forcing Secret to fight, but Secret also have their team fight potential through both Disruptor and Venomancer. It's just going to be a great game of Dota. And we're only 30 minutes into it. There's going to be a lot more of this.
Yeah, they just feel really evenly matched. At ESL New York, it really felt like Secret was a step ahead, but I think that was one of CDEC's first games in this patch, and they really seem to have learned from it.
Well, you heard what CDEC also said after their interview. They were just like, you know what? Like, we still feel like the older patch, we can still draft as the way he did in the older patch in this current patch. That was basically what they said.
I mean, they're showing it right now, but this Juggernaut, having this BKB is going to make it so much stronger. The Disruptor ultimate was really killing him.
Yep.
It was one of the only things, being able to lock him down. And Nature's Prophet's just going to TP out. They want to just continue to force CDEC to chase them around the map. And you notice again, Eternal Envy's on the opposite side of the map. He's making sure that they first show that his team creates space for him on the other side. One support or the offlane shows They rotate over, and then Eternal Envy just goes to the opposite side of the map with his Boots of Travels.
CDEC is on the run. The 4-man smoke move.
Oh, this is so smart by them, too. They
They're
had the
coming
ward
from
vision. They know he's there. They should just go for the blind blink up.
There it is from Garda, able to get it, and with the Hex, and including the Finger of Death, they really did not want Envy to get out of this one. He evaded them on the top lane by beating down the bottom, and now pays the price.
That was really smart ward vision. They knew that once he crossed that area, he was just going to go straight for the jungle. You blind blink up there and make sure that you get that kill. And we talked about it before, but XZ now has the Aghanim Scepter on the Night Stalker.
Yep.
So all of these movements, him and the Lion are going to be so coordinated in all these fights.
There's not even like any kind of observe wards you can keep up because he's running the Ags as well as the Gem. Even if the Gem doesn't share the same range as the Aghanim's ulti, like there's still little vision you can keep.
That's what I think that after you take down this tower, you just go and deward everything and make sure that Secret are playing blind. So when you're playing the split push game, you can't afford to play blind, especially when CDEC have so many blink daggers and aggressive heroes. You've got a Night Stalker, you've got a blink dagger on the Juggernaut. Deny the vision as much as you can. Make sure that they're playing blind, and then just slowly start to starve them out.
Yep. Well, Night Stalker, helping to find. Okay, you have to come back.
It's only a sentry.
It's only a sentry. It's the observer ward to the right they really want to try and find. Because if they take that out, then there is no observer wards on the map. That is actually the last obs ward on the map for Team Secret. It's a pretty heavy information ward too. Except when it's darkness. Then you don't see Jack.
They actually don't see anything of that. That's such a tiny radius that they have to work with.
Yep. So that's it. That's the radius right there. That's all you see from this observer ward during darkness.
It's going to turn daytime again, and this is going to prompt Secret to get aggressive. And you're seeing that right now as they're moving forward as...
Well, they start over on XZ. The Shackle, it won't latch into the Omni Slash. Weeha trying to evade most of this, but he's going to get hit by every single bit with a Sonic Wave to ensure the kill. The Nova made it difficult to escape, and Pylite die. Finger of Death as well. CDEC, they're being very liberal with their ultimates. But they do find the 2 kills after it was Secret who were the ones to initiate it in.
That Juggernaut had maybe less than a quarter of a second to get that BKB off. If the Wind Ranger's Blink Shackle actually hits, they probably win that fight. They can burst down the Juggernaut really quickly. Even with his BKB, he doesn't have too many defensive HP items. So for them to get that kill is so huge for them. And that was a smoke rotation by Secret.
Yep. They were the ones that were trying to fight. So it was the reactions from Aggressive that give them the advantage back. Okay, so they're cleaning up Roshan Pit. There's just a couple of trees scouting around. There's still no Roshan for another 2 minutes maximum, or minimum, I should say. And Puppy starts going into defense positions. Aggressive to TP out. You've seen Puppy, he actually got a lot of money early on. Like, he had that Aghanims very early on. Went into a 4-star and now has the Ghost Scepter. It's the only way he can really survive.
Yeah, he's trying to make sure that he doesn't get hit by a lot of those jugglties, and he's playing the repositioning game for his team. I'd like to see him potentially go for the F-Blade to make sure that if Weeha's targeted, for example, in that scenario, you can save him.
That would be the best way. Just burn out the Omni Slashes. Obviously, you still attack the heroes which Ghost Scepter don't do any damage, Puppy. Oh, there's just They jump forward with the Orchid. He should pop from this anyway, the Sun Ray, making it, pretty much ensured. So, an easy pick on the Venomancer. And there's 1 minute now. Again, Secret are playing with a 4-man lineup. And then he's just trying to keep this lane out as far as he possibly can. He knows he can just jump back to a defensive spirit if things get a little bit rough. He's actually got it, all the way down there in the tree line corner. And now
when you're playing against a Night Stalker, you have to play this defensively, especially when you've lost a lot of these trades that you were hoping to go for. But Team Secret, the good news for their lineup is they can almost always rely on going to the late game with the split push. We've seen Nature's Prophets win solo. Bulldog was one of the heroes or players that pioneered the fact that the Nature's Prophet can play standalone Dota and still win you the game, and always take favorable trades when it comes to towers. So Team Secret, right now, they have given up 5 kills in a row, and the net worth has finally started to climb in favor of CDEC. And it's that XP graph, actually, that blows my mind right now.
It goes all the way of CDEC. 14,000 to the 3,000 net worth. What do you also think about this with the Juggernaut? Like, I'm assuming it's just the attack speed that you get so you can do something more during your Omni Slash. Puppy, okay. The stun, aggressive moves forward. He just attacks so fast.
Crit, crit, crit.
But normally Moonshots is that thing you get when you're running out of like, when you're already 6 slotted. Like you look for the upgrade. What's the advantage of getting it now?
I think it's both the vision that it can give you, the shade sight.
Okay.
That's such a weird thing to say. Shade sight that it gives you. And the attack speed that you get is unbelievable. 120.
Oh, the shackle. Very rarely does Weeha miss things like that, and he'll get punished for it too. They turn on the Orc and the Sonic Wave as well. Weeha's down. He's got buyback. Or he has to stay alive for 70 seconds, but if CDEC read this correctly, like they'll probably just TP back down to that bottom lane. There's actually Misery who's coming down there to stop this push into the tier 3 towers. But if they defend this bottom lane, they might realize that Roshan spawns up very, very quickly. He's up in 20 seconds time.
And that once they take that, that's going to be the call for CDEC to go for the high ground. The Juggernaut's going to get the deny on the tower. This means that Misery has to read the situation and think to himself, I have to start getting aggressive on the map, even if it means putting myself in danger. I want to be in position to split push as fast as possible, because I don't know if you can get into a straight 5v5 fight against the Aegis, especially if the Queen of Pain has it. So what Secret have to do is just waste time as much as possible and make things just dangerous. You've got your Venomancer ultimate, which is one of the worst things that you could push into. Once you have that Aegis, Shiki, he's going to feel like he should just go for the burst damage immediately on the puppy.
And why not? They're going to take the tier 2 tower and bottom lane. There's one creep to come in, so no backdoor protection for this. They do it so quickly too. Not just with aggressive damage, but having that negative armor on the buildings. They have to come back to defend the top. Misery's got a very big creep wave, so CDEC once again, they've been forced to kind of play to Secret's tune, but that's also even more CS that aggressive can just mop up. He's got another 3,000 gold over on this Juggernaut after buying the Moonshard, after basically being, like he's not 6-slotted because he can consume the Moonshard.
He's really close though. I was going to say, the only other item that I could see him getting, if he wasn't going to go for the Moonshards here, because he needs the attack speed, the Butterfly would be okay.
Oh, this could be good. Oh, cute. He's pinging it out. He's Sunrayed into Roshan. The second Secret came in and Weeha broke his smoke to attack Roshan. So CDEC understand that Roshan's up. Eternal Envy wants them to come back though. He's pushing in the top lane. He'll take out this creep wave nice and quick.
Go for the split again and again. Make it hard for CDEC to do this, or at least force them to make trades if they have to.
Well, Shiki is the man coming back to defend it. Eternal Envy jumps out to the Spirit, and they're actually searching for Eternal Envy. They were right on top of his Spirit position, but they couldn't get the control off. And now with these Plague Wards, such a nuisance having both Treants and Plague Wards everywhere. Even if you don't have obs, you can still get vision.
Yeah, and you've got to make sure that Shiki is there for the fight, because you need him to burst down the Venomancer. I think that Secret is perfectly fine if they get a really nice Veno ulti off in conjunction with Misery's ult. But you need both of those abilities.
This is the reason why Shiki bought both Treads as well as BTs.
Yeah, he wants to make sure that he can get to this fight real quick.
Oh, they're coming in. There's your first Sleight of Fist, double Searing Chains, the BKB from Night Stalker off very quickly. They go for the Nova, but Secret, they're already so far away from the Nova with that push with the force off away. Paladai, he will go down. The ulti comes out from Puppey, but it only hits Garter as well as XZ. Aggressive is just having so much fun over on the side. Puppey attempted to TP out. He'll be successful, even though he is burning inside the base, the Fire Spirits. They can't finish the job.
That damage from this Juggernaut is so much.
And he cut through. They'll find Misery. It's not enough in time, though. But that's 3 heroes down for Secret and an open Roshan with a double damage rune sitting at the front of it.
The damage from the Juggernaut is actually unreal right now. They can't handle it, and Paladai, his hero has started to really run out of steam. We saw in the mid game how effective the Disruptor ultimate was, but now it's just kind of used as a place tool.
Really smart by Misery. He sent 3 Treants in to pick off the tower, which was down to about 50 life. Even using the Wrath of Nature to summon even more Treants. And this split push, like the damage is wonderful. See, they keep taking these fights, but is this really a means to an end? Because Secret seems they can just keep this split push going. Or do we just get to a point where CDEC just push so hard, so fast, that Secret lose everything when they go for a trade-off?
You just want to make sure, CDEC, that if you go for any sort of push, you're guaranteed taking more. Any trades right now for them are not in their favor. Like taking a Rax but losing a Rax, that kind of gives Secret a reset factor. And it's going to make them feel a lot more happy about those types of trades. I don't know the word I was trying to use there. The opposite of demoralized. They're gonna feel hardened.
Ecstatic.
Yeah. And think to themselves, well, we lost the Rax, but whatever. We'll take one of our own.
They're very content.
Okay, you've got Moonshards eaten now by the Juggernaut. And he's got the Abyssal Blade Toby.
Yeah.
This guy deals fiendish amounts of damage.
Does he actually buy the Abyssal Blade? Because to do so, he means he'll sacrifice his buyback.
Yes, YOLO.
You live life on the edge, Blitz.
He's only 800 gold. You might as well just save up. I'm kidding, by the way. Don't do that.
He doesn't. He actually buys the second BTs.
I think it's just to make sure that he can help his team when they get caught out.
That
They
makes
don't have
sense.
a lot of towers anymore. That's the biggest thing, is they just don't have towers. If they had towers, yeah, he doesn't really need the BOTs too.
He also attacks so fast that the chance of getting your bash off, like, yeah, it's not the lockdown misery. Try to courier snipe. As it was just coming back. It wouldn't have been a huge blow because there was nothing on the courier. But just Misery trying to poke for anything. Always keep CDEC looking behind themselves. That's the goal of the Nature's Prophet. And Puppey, well, okay, there's the BT's forward. They force staff down the Lion,
really
and that
wanna
allows
kill
the
Puppey if you
aggressive
can.
to blink forward. The Finger of Death will come, so the Ghost Scepter cannot protect him.
What is
Highlight
this
die!
dive?
Aggressive, just shredding him apart, and now they can go for more. The Honest Slice is
was the
available, they
buyback.
don't even need it. That was a dieback by Puppey. He wanted to try and defend and keep them in base because Eternal Envy is pushing through the top, but now as CDEC comes up here, and where is Envy's Spirit? It's a long way back at base, all the way home.
Again, trades by Team Secret. They're doing some damage on the map. They're making it really difficult for CDEC to just commit to these racks. But still, a dieback from Puppey, that's going to be pretty significant. It's going to slow down his item progression, and more importantly, it's going to make this next push from CDEC even stronger. And you see all three heroes are already gathered mid. They're letting Shiki kind of do the work here.
Weehar's out a long way, and that's the Blink Omni Slash. Weehard never even saw it coming. The Observable was on the other side of the tree line, which gave CDEC the complete vision advantage. And now there's 1 minute without the Wind Ranger, and she doesn't want to have to buy back as well.
I completely take it back, by the way. I was so wrong about this Juggernaut. I thought at some point, yeah, he might fall off, but with this build, I apologize to everybody watching. This Juggernaut's insane.
The Blink Dagger move as well, it's just, like, his positioning is so good. Having both BTs as well as this Blink Dagger. Like, normally the Blink is meant to be used in conjunction with the Abyssal Blade. Like, it's that instant lock. But right now, like, he just blinks himself in, and it takes 2-3 hits to kill off a Disruptor. Same for the Venomancer. And Venom's Ghost Scepter works against him because now Lion is just like, okay. In fact, maybe that's even the goal of Garda. If you can kill off that Venom before he can get that Poison Nova off. There's your Abyssal Blade now done. So Aggressive's got the instant lockdown control.
Alright, so you've got almost Ashivas finished on this support Phoenix too. They've got a lot of utility items coming their way. The Lion almost has his Aghanim Scepter, as well as having that Glimmer Cape and that Force Staff. So that's the way they're going to deal with Puppey's ultimate. They've got 2 Glimmer Capes on their team. No pipe, but you've got a lot of BKBs and ways to deal with it. You've even got a BKB on this Night Stalker.
Oh, Misery. Again.
You gotta
That's
be
a
careful.
fresh
They can't afford
Observer
to
Ward
lose.
down by CDEC. They can see him coming, and Garda is basically a taxi service for Aggressive. As he BTs onto him every time. Garda gets he 4-stars himself, blinks in, and is right on top of Misery.
That was the hero they needed alive too, Toby, to continue to split push and make it difficult for CDC to continue to go for things.
Yep.
You can TP behind the tower, split waves, but look at this mid wave. It's already pushed in so far. Secret are going to have no choice but to fight at this rate.
MV's doing the best he can to keep that split push going, but even his defense damage, like Blink Dagger, Daedalus, as well as the Battle Fury, it's not enough to make a big enough of a dent in CDEC to force them back, especially when they can have Healing Ward down, making this push even more sustainable. CDEC go through the tier 3 tower, now into the melee, and there's your blink forward, goes directly for Puppey. The Glimmer was being used, and now keep him back, and Puppey goes for the Nova, and he actually wafted it. It didn't hit anything. The Gale did connect as well as the Shackle, and there's that Sleight of Fist damage into Phoenix. And he wants to get out of here. He'll TP home. The nicely timed crit. And it's bottom lane again, where CDEC, they have to keep looking behind themselves.
That's fine though, because now you've taken the Rax and you didn't trade anything. And that's the main thing they were worried about, Toby, is if we go for this Rax, will we lose somebody? I think Misery even used the buyback for that.
Yeah,
if
he
I'm not
did.
mistaken.
He did.
So the next time they actually get the kill off on Misery, that might just be the game. The Secret can't take a heads-on fight anymore, but at the same time, going for the split push, it just doesn't seem feasible when you have no vision on the map. The Night Stalker's just done such a good job of denying that. He's kept that gem alive for this entire duration. How are you meant to maneuver around the map? And how do you even do anything as a support on Team Secret anymore?
You don't. It's the sacrificial Venomancer play. Like you 4-staff in, you get the ulti off. It's almost like, and you saw the 4-staff. It wasn't enough for this Venomancer. Like if you want to learn how to suicide properly, like we look back at Melk's build, you need the Blink Dagger. Like that's what it's about. Get yourself in the middle, get your ulti off, and then just die to everyone.
It's unbelievable that Jacob still takes credit for that win. He keeps trying to tell us, you know, it's like his old war story.
Yep.
It's like, I won us that game by dying.
Dude, they memed him so hard.
They really did. Shout out to, that was the old Mao squad, one of the most entertaining teams in Dota.
Yeah, back when Sing Sing was playing with them.
Sing Sing and Bambo. All right, but CDEC, they're about to run into Team Secret. They're all smoked up. This is one of their Hail Marys.
It's just so brutal. It's normally that thing with Nature's Prophet, with any kind of split push, you look like even at the Tinker games, where you say, okay, how do I play this? I need vision. I need to keep vision on the map to understand just how far I can split push this without losing my life, and then make the calculated risk. But right now it's all risk.
Shiki at top. You've got a Hex.
Oh, this is problematic. Divine Rapier was actually picked up as well.
No.
There's a Rapier in the hands of a Juggernaut. He drops his SMY for this one.
He just got that too. They set that up so well for him. I mean, we all saw it coming. Once Shiki had that Hex, they were definitely going to go for that kill.
But you split pushed when you had a Rapier.
You have to go for it, Toby.
You do, but
honestly, I love that Eternal Envy goes for that play. It just doesn't work out in this scenario, but what else is he going to get? He needs to deal instant burst damage for them to be able to win fights, and they realize that the split push game isn't coming along fast enough, and CDEC, I think you just go for the base now.
Yeah. Well, there's no Ember Spirit for 50 seconds. He's blowing so much money on having that Rapier. And now, okay, bottom lane, Misery on the run out of here, and he's actually inside the Sprout. Aggressive will cut through. Misery's got no way out of here. He'll end up going down. This is really problematic. There's no Ember. There's no Nature's Prophet. There's a Rapier on the Juggernaut that was stolen from the hands of Secret.
He doesn't have buyback now, too, on Nature's Prophet. That just slows everything down.
Here they come. We are instantly hexed up. They will be having the Nova as Pylite die in the backlines. The Garter is focusing. Take out one of the supports before the fighting begins. They don't really have anything more to gain by taking out this mid lane as far as the racks go, but right now they're just hunting kills. Trouble on Q. We are able to find that pickoff.
They're doing this all without their monster Juggernaut, though.
He's here.
He comes with the Rapier and the healing ward. He's going to heal up Shiki to full.
That Nova and Gale was dropping him down very low, too. If that healing ward didn't come in, Queen of Pain was dead.
Gathered up, though, but 30 seconds for everybody to respawn. It looks like CDEC, they just want to go for the safe option. Get that Aegis onto that Juggernaut.
And Secret, they need to kill off that Juggernaut. If they can get rid of him and get that Divine Rapier back into the hands of Eternal Envy, the chance becomes real again. And Envy just starts to split push once again. Keep that lane pressured as hard as possible while the Prophet's down. And Prophet's trying to go for this base race too. Like getting a very late Desolator is going to give him that double negative armor from the Assault Cuirass as well as the Deso, just to burn through the buildings. But he needs that creep wave to hit the top lane so he can get a counter racks.
So Shiki is just going to push this out. They're waiting for the Roshan, and I think that's the correct decision. You've got a Butterfly now completed on your Juggernaut.
What does he drop? Does he actually drop the Blink Dagger?
I think so. Although I really like the Blink this game. He's just been able to get on top of heroes and three-shot them. He definitely doesn't like for damage.
He could probably let it go just because Garda is doing that for him, where he just BTs on top of Garda.
Haste.
Okay, he hasn't made the decision yet. He still wants the Battle Fury. They're looking up the top lane, and that's a real good pick off here for Secret. Misery as well as Weehard going to work. The Venomans are getting carved up, however. That wasn't part of the plan, and that drops the gem of Team Secret. But they still keep this split push going. The bottom lane's pushing in a long way. Q is not a healthy man here. And now Garda jumping forward onto Pylite Eye. Q wants to try and help him out. He still has Nova available, but they find Pylite Eye in the tree line. The Observer Ward does get dropped, but that won't survive for much longer. But it's the bottom lane. Like, there's no tier 3 tower here. The tree is just running into the tier 4 towers. In fact, it looks like they're just running up to the top lane to do damage to the ranged racks. This is the ultimate rack game.
It has to be right now because CDEC, they don't have a lot of options. They have to always come back and defend their base over and over again. They don't want to give up anything more than they have to. And Team Secret, they understand getting into a straight fight, they're definitely going to lose it. It's happened too many times in a row now where Secret get initiated on CDEC, blow them up, but they've always got a person in position to go for the split push, delay the game as much as you can, and wait for CDEC to make a mistake.
That's difficult to do, man.
Yeah, they've been playing really clean Dota.
I still just cannot believe this net worth, the Juggernaut. He's over 40,000 net worth in 52 minutes.
He's
Like,
done
yeah,
okay for
he has the stolen rapier, but there's still another 7,000 gold, and these Treants causing troubles. Like, this range rack still keeps getting chipped away, aggressive, blinking around to try and keep up with them. Misery's playing at great profit. Like, how are you meant to push in? You always feel like your home is being chipped away. You don't have fortification up and running.
The most impressive thing to me, Toby, is just the fact that they've had no vision on the map for so long, and they're still making this happen.
Yep.
I have no idea, by the way, how this ward even got placed.
That was when Pylai died.
Okay.
He threw it down just as he was dying. I didn't think the ward would remain there because Night Stalker just hasn't been in that neighborhood. And Night Stalker is currently soloing Roshan. He'll have some help now arrive because he wasn't fast enough to do it. But with 35 armor, Roshan doesn't really pose a threat to him.
Yeah, this is going to go onto the Queen of Pain.
Aegis and cheese.
I think the Phoenix takes the cheese.
Would make sense.
You probably just hold it and give it back to the Queen of Pain when she loses her Aegis. Just to make sure that the Venomancer ulti doesn't kill her in base. And now that she's got that, Boots of Travel number 2, she's just going to TP back.
And Envy. Slide a fist and get the hell out of there because they're right behind you. He'll get actually sealed up. They can lock him in right now with also Shiki going for the Orchid and Sonic Wave. There it is. That is 100 seconds on the sideline for the Ember Spirit, but the bottom lane is still pressuring in. The top lane Range Rack is going to fall to this last little treant. Punch it, got it. Range Racks will go down. And Team Secret, it has taken them probably, well, it has taken them 53 minutes to bring down one of the Raxes, but they get something.
I think CDEC's play now is just to say, we're tired of this. Let's just end the game.
5-man push down mid.
Yeah, you've got buybacks on everybody that you need to. You've got an Aegis and a cheese available to yourself. The Juggernaut just deals so much damage right now. He still has a healthy BKB at 7 seconds. Just tell Misery, okay, we'll let you take the racks. Who cares? We're just going to take your base.
Like you tell him. I'm not. Garda jumping forward, and yeah, he blinks aggressively forward, a little bit blind, hoping to find someone, but Secret in a really good defensive position. The Wrath of Nature kicks through to start with, a nice scale over on both Shiki as well as Garda, and they pull Garda back. They do not want to have his burst damage. The Disrupt ulti is not doing enough, not what that Glimmer Cape is out, but Puppey gets a great ulti out. It's over on Shiki as well as aggressive. They're taking considerable damage, and then for the double shackle from Weehar, he's already burned his BKB, and the melee racks, they're just man-moding this in CDEC. You get the Nova out. Now, can they get rid of this in time? The answer is going to be no. The egg will hit the deck, and Puppey getting fingered down. The shackle connects again from Weehar with a focus fire. He really wants to kill off this piece, but Phoenix still has the cheese, and then aggressive. Blinks forward. He's got the help from Garda, who got the Hex off too. The Omniscience is up and aggressive. If they can get this kill, they can't. They're going for the Fortress right now. CDEC, the spin from aggressive protecting him, and this will be the game. CDEC, oh, will it? No, it won't! The shackle, it holds him, the rapier's on the ground, but they finish the job at the end. Ooh. It almost looked like CDEC had a bit of a fight at the last moment, but CDEC, patience was a virtue they were asked to show. And they eventually ran out of it and still won.
Secret did a good job of trying to keep up in the game, but CDEC, they were clinical. Every single time they denied vision, they invaded that safe lane so frequently. They made so many different excursions into the jungle. And for me, the MVP play were the 2 supports in the offlaner, solo holding the Roshan. Fantastic play from CDEC overall.
Well done to Q as well as Garda, because the 2 players you're talking about. We're going to throw it over to the analysts to get their thoughts on that game. Was it the perfect rat, or was it the perfect play by CDEC?
Thank you so much, Toby and Blitz. We're back at the panel with Malcolm and Merlini, of course. And, well, CDEC getting a bit of revenge right there. Don't smile. I saw that right there.
I think that's the best play Juggernaut I've seen all year.
It
Yeah,
was
definitely.
ridiculous. So does Aggressive just try to throw out the gyro, throw in the jug? I mean, it
Well,
sounded
it
like
was
it suited his
actually like
playstyle very well.
A really masterful pick too, because I think he's the only hero that can actually kill a Wind Ranger without BKB while she's BKB'd, or without an MKB while she's BKB'd. So like generally when you hit BKB with Wind Ranger with all those items, you're like kind of invulnerable for like 10-15 minutes before they get the MKBs, but he didn't need it the entire game, and they were just able to kill him constantly over and over and over again. And then of course Shiki with the Queen of Pain also played decently, but they also itemized very well. The Moonshard I think was a really smart pickup to save on slots. They got BOTs all around, and I would foresee a Night Stalker ban in game number 2.
Also the richest Juggernaut all year.
Yeah.
Full inventory, didn't really know what to buy. Sat on over 10k gold, had a 16 yards and a casual butterfly in base. You know, that was what a luxury problem to have. You have a Blink Dagger and a Battle Fury in your inventory, but you don't really want to pick up your butterflies. Like, do I need it? I don't really need it. Especially not
Poor
when
people.
Mr. Eternal Enemy goes in and gives over the Divine Rapier to him as well.
Yeah, hard game for him. Continue to get caught out. Big props, of course, to the supports of CDEC. They had that huge Roche contention, and then they were able to get the catch on Envy multiple times. But
I especially love how Garda on the Lion he didn't give a fuck about like keeping the Finger of Death. There was like no waiting on it or anything.
Yeah.
I don't care if I use it for killing off the enemy. Like it was secured kills all the way. And he didn't need to use that Finger of Death in any of those kills, but he just did it anyways. I'm like, I'm gonna get a Scepter, and this kill is mine, and this kill is mine. That's any support stream where you can just take all the kills you want without caring about your cooldown.
Secret tried to pull out Plan B and even Plan C. Misery had a very admirable, I guess that's kind of a funny pun right there with Mr. Bulldog, but his Nature's Prophet was not going to be enough to kind of pull it back for him. So props to CDEC. They're going to come out with game number 1. We're going to go ahead and cut to a small break, and when we return, we'll see if CDEC are going to pull out the big revenge and get a 2-0 sweep of Team Secret, or if Secret are going to be able to take it to a 3-game stretch. We'll have that answer in just a moment. We'll see you soon.